Stay at home on 9 to 5, raising your babies with joy and pride. A real ass mom, you're a real ass mom. Taking care of business. Ooh, girl, you're resilient. 'Cause you're a real ass mom. A real ass mom.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod. Real ass moms sharing real ass experiences. The things people don't tell you.
Hey friend, how are you?
Happy 2023.
Happy 2023. Oh, so if this is your first time listening to the Real Mama Pod, I'm Devin.
And I'm Kendra. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome. This is season 2 for us. Our first season launched in March of 2021. And we did 37 episodes.
2021 or 2022?
What year are we in?
We're in 2023 right now.
March of 2022.
Yes.
My years.
I know why you're
everything's
confused,
the same.
friend. Because we've been in the work since 2020, and in 2021 we were supposed to launch, but we had so many setbacks, so it ended up being 2022. So that's why you feel that way.
Yeah, sorry y'all.
It's okay.
March of 2022 is when the Real Mama Pod launched.
Yes, and we like to have fun at the Real Mama Pod. We talk a lot of mess, we laugh, we cry, we get deep, all that.
We do get deep. We do get deep. We have a good time. We have drinks.
Yes.
We'll talk about that a little later.
And we have amazing guests, but today we are doing our welcome back episode, so it's just us kicking it.
Hey. Yes, like we said, it's season 2. So, what are we talking about? Devin's the one who be coming with the 21 questions.
I do.
For everybody.
I do.
Not just me, but all the guests.
Yeah. So, I got some questions for you. How was your holiday break? How did you spend your holidays? What did you do? Any new traditions? All that.
Okay, so let me break it. That was like 3 questions. And
yeah, all that.
Maybe 4. Okay, so holiday break, we were back home in Florida. We were actually in my hometown, which is Pensacola.
Okay.
And we went to just see family. My grandmother is not doing well, or she hasn't been doing well, but we spent the holiday with her just to, make sure she feels loved and feels support. And we haven't spent Christmas in Pensacola in like 8 years. It's been a while. So we spent the holiday there. New traditions. So we started this new tradition with putting up our Christmas tree. And that tradition is getting like our holiday pajamas. So just to scale it back a little bit, we do wear holiday pajamas on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, but we never wore holiday pajamas like while we're putting up the decorations. So that's something that we started this year. And I mentioned to Jonathan, I'm like, I want to do this every year. And he's like, so we got to buy multiple pajamas every year. And I'm like, way to suck out the joy. She always wondering, like, where's the money coming from? But then he said, why don't we wear the pajamas from the previous year and see how far we've grown? Hopefully I'm not grown.
Hopefully it's just Eli.
Either, but Eli, he's like, I think it would be funny to see him in the year prior's PJs.
Yeah.
So we haven't set in stone what that tradition will look like in terms of PJs, but that is a practice that we will have.
I would think that'd be fun, and then maybe you guys could wear the pajamas y'all want actual Christmas Day. You could wear those the following year to put the tree.
Yeah, that is also that's a good one. That's a good idea. Jonathan might appreciate you for that.
I know.
Well, he probably will.
I'll look out for him sometime. Anyway, so Christmas, right? As far as like celebrating traditions and all that, do you tell Eli about Santa Claus? Do he know who Santa Claus is? Like, because I struggle with that, and I'll say my piece, but I want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, so we have not, meaning me and Jonathan, have not told Eli about Santa Claus. And if he learns about Santa Claus, okay, you know, every kid does. They experience this world of having Santa, but it's not something that we're pressing at home. And if Eli comes home and asks us about Santa Claus, I don't know how to answer that, because I don't want him to be the kid that's like, my mama told me there is no such thing as Santa Claus. And I remember how this idea of Santa felt to me as a kid. Now, what I will not allow Eli to feel is that there is this white savior that comes and gives every kid something for Christmas, or fills their room with Christmas gifts and toys of whatever they want and like. But I don't know how we would paint this image of Santa. It's not going to be what the traditional sense is. But I don't want him to feel like, I don't want to strip him of that joy, but we're not instilling Santa in him, if that makes sense. Like, we're not, oh, it's Santa Claus season, and Eli, what did Santa get you this year? Like, Santa's not gifting you these, no, mommy and daddy are. Right. So, I don't know. We're not pushing Santa on him. But if he learns of Santa, it's not going to be what the world paints Santa out to be, because that's not, no, what we represent.
Okay, that's fair.
I do want to know or learn your perspective on that, though.
Yeah, so when I was a little girl, I believed in Santa, and when I found out I was in the 2nd grade, Shakira Johnson, I would never forget. She was
Shakira Johnson.
Yes. She was like, you still believe in Santa? He is not real. And so I went home, and my mom, she was very open with us. So we could pretty much ask her anything. And I'm like, Mom, is Santa real? And she was like, no. And I was so devastated. And I was like, why did you lie to me? Like, I thought we were supposed to lie to each other. Like, why would you make that up? And she was like, I don't know, because that's what we do. And we recently talked about this conversation. She was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't really realize you felt that way. And so that always stuck with me, right? So now we have kids. Jared is really into Christmas. Christmas music is playing the day before Thanksgiving, if not before. Lights up, like very like in the spirit, right? And so I'm getting there, but I also struggle with like, okay, Jesus is the reason for the season. Where do these lights come from? Where does tree come? Why do we need this? So we do not tell our children about Santa Claus. I mean, they know he's around, but they don't know Santa brings gifts. So it's just like, yeah. So they know he exists. Like, they take pictures with him at school and things like that, because it's very prevalent in the school system too, right? So, but I'm also not telling them like there's no such thing as Santa like you, because I don't want them to ruin that for somebody else. But they do understand like this is Jesus' birthday. This is why we're celebrating Christmas. And mommy and daddy works really hard for you to have these things.
Right.
Technically, your godparents and your aunts and your uncles, because we don't really buy them nothing either for Christmas. And that sounds really harsh, but my philosophy behind that is like, whenever the boys want something, they get it. Whether it's Christmas, birthday, just throughout the year, whatever, right? And so sometimes we get a trip to Target because they had a good week as far as behavior, or we had good mornings, whatever the case may be, because they struggle at drop-off still. So we use that as incentive. So by the time Christmas comes, it's not really anything that they need or want. And I'm also like, look, our time is coming when we have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for these expensive game systems, and all these things they're going to want. We're going to chill. We're going to chill, and we're going to be grateful for what they get. And they don't really know. They're just happy that they're opening gifts. They don't care who it comes from. They're just like, oh, we got new clothes or new toy, whatever the case may be. So that is my little spiel.
Yeah.
Christmas.
We do, like, this Christmas was something, or is a big holiday in our family. And growing up, I just remember like walking out into my grandma's living room. And it was me, my brother, and my 2 cousins. We spent Christmas with each other from birth till we were like real ass grown. Yeah. And even when we were grown and my grandmother was still, my nana was still living, we still would walk into this living room with a room full of gifts. Right. And while Eli's grandparents and godparents and aunties, everybody contributes, the way my parents bought gifts for us was ridiculous. But I feel like I carry that tradition with me. Now, the things Eli gets, it's not anything crazy like you mentioned.
Right.
When they age and they want these expensive shoes and they want these gaming systems and electric bikes or whatever,
Right.
whatever it'll
Scooters, because they the scooter gang.
Right, exactly. Whatever. I mean, you bought Eli a scooter last year for Christmas. Well, not last, 2020.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean. Your date's all
but,
right.
right, apparently.
We got it.
But I'm still obviously in 2022. But anyways, there are certain things that I wait to buy him and save those purchases for the end of the year.
Oh.
So, like, I'm always here for a sale. He always needs clothes. He always needs shoes because he's growing.
Yep.
So when we have those Black Friday sales or random sales throughout the year, I start to get things so that he can have something to open or something more to open.
Because he already has something to open.
Right, yeah.
But we do, like, last year and this year, Jerry and I did start buying them, like, one big gift, right? So they got their little Jeeps last year, and then this year they'll get a trampoline. But again, even if it wasn't Christmas, they would get that at some point. So,
yeah, like we got Eli a nugget last year. I said I'm not buying a nugget until Christmas.
Yeah.
And hell, he still uses the nugget, but not as much.
Right.
So it's still something that is multi-purpose.
Yeah. So
I try to be strategic too about the types of things I get because I want it to carry over into however many years we can have.
Yeah.
So those big gifts, that was our first big gift.
Yeah.
And we don't have a big gift this year.
Yeah. It's just some years you have it, some years you don't. I'm okay with it. Now, when grandma and grandpa and aunties and uncles, all that stuff start fizzling out and it comes on us, then I think I'll be more like, okay, what's your list? But,
yeah. Excuse me, we did not have a big gift this year.
Yeah.
This past year.
That's all right. He had a great birthday, so.
That too. I mean, Eli's birthday is at the end of October.
Right.
So we're getting into the season. So you spend a lot of money on birthday parties and then Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. If y'all have any, anything y'all want to, share anything y'all do that's like not fall into the spectrum of this whole tradition of like Santa Claus and things like that. And I think as millennials, the way we parent is just a little different from our parents, and we're more like real with our kids, and like like I want it to be an open-ended conversation. Speaking of which, tell me how you would navigate this, because oh Lord, I don't know if I did good
concerned right now
or bad.
What happened?
When I called Jerry, when I talked to Jerry, I'm like, I don't know what I just told our child. So we are really into like this language part of life, right? Inappropriate language, not inappropriate, but at the wrong time. So they are very familiar with body parts, so they know what a penis is and a vagina and all that stuff, right? And so because I want them to be knowledgeable of their body parts, right? It's a part of us. It's natural, right? And at the same time, I don't want them to be over-sexualized either, right? So anyway, Drew is in the back seat, and he's like playing with his penis, okay? And he has his clothes on, but he's like, I don't know what he's doing. And we're at this playing with our penis phase for him and Jay, right? And so I'm like, hey, Drew, like, don't play with your penis. And he was like, but it's mine. I was like, you know what? You're right. It is your penis. How about we don't play with it in public? So I'm like, you do that in private. But then I'm like, am I like insinuating like he plays with himself in private, or am I overthinking this? Like,
probably the latter. Probably the latter. I don't know what to do with that. I don't have a penis, and Eli, I don't know what him and Jonathan be doing. I really don't. I don't know what they be talking about in there, because Jonathan does bad time.
Right. And
he gets him dressed in the morning too, because I have to be out of the house for
right.
work early. But I don't even know how I would handle that, because yes, you're right. You should not be playing with your penis in public, because literally it's against the law.
Right.
And it's like, he's right. This is mine. Why can't I play with it?
Right.
But I don't think I don't like stripping kids of credit, because they do understand
right.
what we say.
Right.
And it's like, are you mature enough to really understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just more so like, hey, don't play with your penis.
Especially not in public.
Just don't play
and I
with
was like, Jared, did I tell him the right thing? He said, you know, Jared, well, shit, yeah, I mean, and I'm just like, can you just, you know, have another conversation with him, because I really don't know. And he hasn't said anything else about it, or hasn't come back up, but I don't know. Mama's right in.
Yeah, right in Mama's corner, and we'll get to
call this the penis project.
But yeah, the penis, right? Because I don't know what to I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
So that's a question that we might be able to save for the dads whenever they come back.
Yeah.
How do you handle your son and his penis? Like,
right.
At what age? Do
and
you
then
teach
Mama's
them
like, how do you handle vaginas with your daughter?
Yeah, because I don't have a daughter. I don't know how to. I'm trying to. I remember my nana telling me when I was in 5th grade. She told me, don't let nobody touch your private part. Now I knew that earlier, but she was like, "Don't. This is your no. Nobody touches that." So I remember that, and it stuck with me. Mm-hmm. But I wonder how I would teach my daughter. I had one about her vagina and her private parts.
Anywho, well, what are you looking for most this year? Like, we're at the top of January. Like, what are some highlights of this year that you're looking forward to?
So I've told y'all through and through that we're getting a house this year. Mm-hmm. So that's number one.
Okay. We knew that from last episode.
We're carrying that conversation.
Same energy. We're keeping that energy.
Exactly. Into this year. That is the highlight for me. Is getting that house. I have shared with y'all that we might consider having another child this year. So those are the two things. Work is going to be exciting this year because this is my first year of implementing a lot of the programs and events that we'll have with the kids. What else? I'm trying to think.
Okay.
We have a lot of travel too. Drew's 5th birthday.
Yes, Disney. So.
What's wrong?
Nothing. We're claiming that. Disney. Anyways, so like I was saying, I wasn't saying, some things that I'm excited for is just really pouring into my marriage more. Like, Jared and I have been really kicking it. Like, this has been a great year. Like, grade 8. The graces are the grade 8. Like, them first 7 years was rough as hell.
Okay.
But now we are at a good space right now. So looking to more travel with my hubby, celebrating Drew's 5th birthday, and then our annual couples trip and camping trip and Friendsgiving. Like, I'm super excited about that. And like, speaking of couples trip, like, we have a sponsor, y'all.
Hey, yes, we do. This isn't our first sponsor, but this is a big sponsor
of the year.
Yes, this is our first sponsor of the year, and that's with KT Travel
and more. Yes, so if you have a boo trip, a couples trip, a destination wedding,
any trip,
all of that, she got you. Stephanie, oh my gosh, she is a beast. And when we plan, we're claiming this year too. When we start planning our retreat, Stephanie's gonna be the person we go through.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Look, she's top tier. She's been featuring all kind of blogs, travel blogs, bridal blogs, all of that.
Magazines.
And when I say hands-on, top tier experience, she got you.
Stephanie is one of the most thorough people I know. So any trip that she plans, I know is going to exceed my expectations and the people who are traveling with me. So she's going to make sure your experiences are what you need and want.
Yep.
She's going to understand where you're going and literally everything that city or town or country has to offer. I have seen Stephanie's packages and the way that she pushes through with restaurants, lodging, whatever experience you like to have with yourself, solo or with a group. She has it planned to the T. I've literally seen these packages.
Yes, so check her out. She's on Instagram, all of that. So,
and we'll have her information in the description box for sure.
Yep. So if you got any trips coming up, just go ahead and book her. We in our 30s now. Like, we ain't got time to be doing this ourselves. Look,
God
we're already doing this podcast
right?
ourselves. So look, when it comes to vacationing, I ain't doing it.
Put it in somebody else's
Yep,
hands.
here you
Expert.
go.
And here's our expert.
Yep.
Here we go.
We're giving you a hand-picked expert. Anyway, so all that talk about travel, Mama Juice, what are we drinking?
So we've talked about the holidays.
Mhm.
We've talked about what we look forward to next year. We've talked about Stephanie and KT travel. Mama Juice is something chill today.
Okay.
We have some sparkling wine, and we've topped it with some grapefruit juice.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Just
It's
a
good,
nice,
y'all.
refreshing introduction into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And our 2023 is going to be as refreshing as this beverage is.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. It's so good.
So Mama's Corner. So if this is your first time listening to our episode, Mama's Corner is an opportunity for us to connect with our guests, if we have guests, and our listeners. And this is an opportunity for you all to write into us, whether you want to vent, seek advice. Look, we're no experts. We can just only talk about things based on our experiences. So don't be trying to come for us and say, like Kendra and Devin said,
told us to
nah.
do this. No.
If you want to vent, if you have a mama hack, if you have a cocktail you want Kendra to kind of recreate, all that can happen in Mama's Corner. So I lost my phone. I don't know where I put it, and I'm not about to get up. But I did read over the question, so I'm going to summarize. And so this mama asked us about our friendship.
Okay.
And if we ever had any arguments, and if we did, like, how do we get through it? And, you know, how does our friendship work? Like, how do we get along so well? How is it going into business with each other? That was basically the question. I'm not reading word for word, and I'm sorry, Mama, but I can't put my phone. Thank you for writing it.
I know that was a good question. So let me see if I can summarize what you just said.
Yeah.
So the first question: have we ever gotten in an argument?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't remember. No.
No, we've never had a blowout, surprisingly, because we
No.
both have strong personalities. But we
Yes.
also, I think we know when to, like, back away from each
Yeah,
other.
we're like,
I'll
all right,
let
girl.
you-
I'll talk to you
Yeah.
later. Bye.
Bye.
No, we've never had a big argument. And like I think it's because of what you said. We both know how to step away. And we both understand each other too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, my friend has a lot going on right now.
Right.
And I know she does. So it is what it is.
Right.
And she says the same thing about me. My friend, you okay? Because, yes, girl, I'm fine. So I think that's how our friendship works, is that we understand the way each other's feeling in that sense.
Yeah.
And we know how to deal with each other when or either one of us is like, oh.
Because we even lived together. We were roommates. We've done
did.
all kind of things together, and nothing crazy has. And that's good. I mean, you and Mimo, I think, are the only friends I've never gotten into it with. So, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem.
Oh, hush. I don't have the bandwidth to be going back and forth with people.
Right.
So at that point, if we're there, it's like, we cool, but I don't have to deal with you every day.
Right.
I just don't. Especially at this point in life,
Yeah.
we ain't got time for all
Yeah.
that. So I think that's how we work.
Yeah.
There was another part of that question.
As far as, like, going into business and stuff, like, how do we make that work? We have open communication.
Yes.
And we both have to agree on something before we move forward. So if someone is uneasy about something, then we just don't do it. Or it may come up later and be like, you know what, I'm comfortable with doing that. Let's give it a try.
Right.
Or Frankie,
right.
you try it out before you just say no. Okay, look, because I'm more like telling Kendra, like,
Yes.
just try it.
I'm like, no.
Because if it don't make sense to Kendra and her visual, like, if I don't present it in a certain way, she like, no. And I'm like, I'm more like the visionary, like, just trust me. She's like, nah, I can't see it, friend. So then I'll just circle back around. I'll find some type of example. I'm like, look, this is what I'm talking about. She's like, okay.
Yeah, it gotta make sense to me.
Yeah.
It just gotta make sense.
So.
I can be a very logical, literal.
Yes,
like,
literal.
All the X's gotta be crossed, T's gotta be crossed, I's dotted. It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's also how we work well business-wise just because we understand how each other thinks.
Yeah.
I know Devin's going to go off the wall. Okay? So when she comes to me with off the wall, I'm like, okay, girl, I'm listening. Paint it out for me. And she paints it out for me because she knows that's what I need in order to say yay or nay.
And now I'm quickly like, do you understand? No. I'm just like, damn.
And sometimes, honestly, this is so strange, but me and Jared, Devin's husband, we think and operate a lot alike, even though we get on each other's nerves.
Yes.
Jonathan and Devin think a lot of alike, even though they get on each other's nerves. So sometimes it takes Jared to help Devin understand where I'm coming from, and sometimes it takes Jonathan to help me understand where Devin is coming from.
Or communicate on my behalf.
Yes, yes, that too.
Yes. So
it's that's how I guess all of this works, is because we understand how each other thinks and operates, and that comes with years of friendship.
Yes.
That's not something that we acquired over the course of 1 year.
Right.
We've been friends. How long you and Jared together?
2007, 15 years. 15
okay,
years.
so that 15 years of friendship to get to I guess this space. Yeah.
So
that was a good question.
Yeah, we don't let anything faze us. Like she said, like if one of us, I'm like, look, she on her period. She'll be alright tomorrow. I'll talk to her tomorrow.
Like, all right, girl, I'll holler at you.
Jared done pissed her off. I'll holler at you.
Yes, right. It's like, okay, friend, let's just calm down.
Right.
It's okay.
So
figure it out.
That was a really good question. So ask us more questions like that.
Yes, indeed. Thank you to whoever put that question. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes. And so, friend, how can they find us on the socials?
So we are at The Real Mama Pod on all social media platforms. So we're mainly on Instagram. We said in this new year we're going to do better with TikTok and Twitter, because that's also, Twitter is one of those platforms that everybody uses. But we have our own account. So I'm at KendraFerg_.
And I'm at DevGrace_.
Yes.
If you want to write us in Mama's Corner, feel free to do so at mama@therealmamapod.com. Also visit our website. We have Mama merch. I don't know if you can see my little sweatshirt. It says Mama.
I see this.
Yeah, so we have hats, we have Rich Auntie merch, all that. So check out our website at therealmamapod.com. And then lastly, please rate, write, review, all that stuff. Wherever you stream from, just look out for us. And share this episode. Share all our episodes. Yeah. So comment, a little goes a long way. So
it does.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much, and welcome to our new listeners.
Yes.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod community. We look forward to exceeding you all's expectations in season 2.
Yes, absolutely.
So cheers, salud, to season 2 in 2023.
Cheers. Bye, mamas.